Why is our own ego often the most dangerous enemy? Machiavelli argued that unchecked ego undermines power from the inside. Today, we'll explore how mastering your ego can elevate your impact in leadership, relationships, and life. Machiavelli taught that self-regard and vanity cloud judgment and invite downfall. He believed that seeing oneself as impeccable closes you off to feedback and risk assessment. Consider a CEO dismissing critique, only to be blindsided by market shifts. Or think of ancient emperors who surrounded themselves only with flatterers, falling because no one dared warn them of danger. Machiavelli's metaphor of the lion and the fox shows why ego-focused leaders who rely only on bravado often fail. Effective leaders shift between subtle strategy and force when needed. Steve Jobs projected confidence publicly like a lion, while relying on persuasive storytelling like a fox. Julius Caesar knew when to march with power and when to win loyalty through charm and subtle deals. Ego-driven leaders can only roar like lions. Masters learn to adapt. Machiavelli famously preferred fear over love, because love depends on obligation, easy to break, while fear enforces discipline. Imagine a leader loved for kindness but ignored when strength is required. Contrast this with a respected commander whose army obeys even under stress. In our time, a manager who avoids setting boundaries to stay liked eventually loses authority. Meanwhile, one who enforces fair but firm discipline commands trust. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Machiavelli emphasized that your public image matters more than your inner ego-laced reality. Consider a political figure presenting integrity while consolidating power behind tradition. Or an athlete projecting confidence to unsettle rivals, even while battling private doubt. Ego tempts us to cling to our own image. Strategy requires shaping how others see us. Ego often tells you you're too talented to prepare. Machiavelli valued discipline, daily ritual and incremental progress, over impulsive ambition. Picture an entrepreneur stuck on a big idea versus one who builds steadily through daily, consistent work. Alexander the Great studied maps and logistics every night, not relying only on charisma and battle. The greatest strength is not a flash of genius, but a pattern of preparation. Machiavelli advised building trust with a few honest advisors. Loyalty based on mutual gain, not ego-driven authority. Look at the partnership of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, or political power couples who balance each other's weaknesses. Even ancient rulers knew a loyal inner circle, bound by respect and mutual benefit, was more valuable than dozens of flattering courtiers. Ego seeks followers. Wisdom seeks allies. Machiavelli argued that rigid moral posturing might undermine results. Where principles serve your goals, fine, but blind virtue without context becomes a vulnerability. Consider companies that loudly tout transparency while concealing flaws, only to collapse under scrutiny. Contrast them with companies that shape the narrative strategically to maintain advantage. History shows that leaders who cling to moral vanity without flexibility invite betrayal, while those who understand timing and strategy endure. To conquer ego is to master influence. Machiavelli's wisdom urges us not to surrender to vanity, but to temper ambition with discipline, strategy, and selective self-presentation. Ask yourself, what would change tomorrow if you mastered your ego today? Would you lead differently, work differently, or finally take the risks you avoid? To reflect is to prepare, and to prepare is to master. Think about where your ego is blocking your next move. Want deeper insights on managing personal power or building disciplined habits? Hit subscribe, and let's go deeper.